Juneteenth is a contraction of two words, June and 19th. And so you get June, we call it Juneteenth. And so it's celebrating the date wherein Africans, Black people in Texas learned about their freedom. Texas is in the Southwest. And so Lincoln, when he makes his declaration, he doesn't really have the ability to enforce it in those states that have broken away from the United States. That's why these territories got the message or got the word late. And so in this case, there are many different, versions or explanations as to why they got the message late. One story is that the messenger who was sent to dispatch the information was killed. Another story says that, it was in a territory where Lincoln did not have authority, so the slave owners just ignored it. Another story says that they just wanted to delay it to get a last crop out of these slaves. And so they're different stories. But the basic idea is that Lincoln did not have the authority really to enforce the Declaration, but it was a strategic move on Lincoln's part to create instability in the rebel territories. But that date varies from state to state. Mississippi has a different date, Florida has a different date, but the narrative around the Juneteenth celebration is really powerful. And so what has happened over time is that the Juneteenth celebration that originates in Texas has become sort of a national symbol of emancipation. Fast forward to today, it's pretty well known across the United States by African Americans, certainly. But when I was growing up, I grew up on the West Coast in California, and so I had never heard of it growing up. But nowadays, many African Americans, perhaps the majority, now know something about Juneteenth, symbol of emancipation. But I'll add too that it's not just a U.S. phenomenon. Emancipation days are celebrated all over the world, where you had Black people who were colonized and enslaved by Europeans. So you have emancipation celebrations in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in the Bahamas, in Mexico, and so anywhere you had in South Africa, in fact, because they had racial oppression in South Africa. I think Juneteenth was revived during the Civil Rights Movement, 1960s, and so we're sort of coming back to that full circle. We're coming to another sort of civil rights effort to finally end permanently white supremacy and all of its structure, starting with the police. And so, I believe that it can take on that symbolic significance that maybe it didn't have in the past, because now African Americans out in the streets protesting again, against police violence, against inequality, against a state that has never acknowledged us as full citizens.